In the city of love and freedom, a reign of terror once unfolded, shrouding the streets of San Francisco in fear and suspicion. Welcome, dear listeners, to our recounting of the infamous Zebra murders. In the early 70s, beneath the iconic Golden Gate Bridge and the vibrant streets of Haight-Ashbury, an ominous cloud was forming. San Francisco, a city known for its vibrant culture and liberal outlook, found itself in the grip of a chilling terror. The Zebra murders, as they came to be known, were a series of racially motivated killings that sent shockwaves through the city. The culprits? 4 men who dubbed themselves the Death Angels, a chilling moniker that would soon be etched into the city's history forever. The racial tension was palpable, the fear tangible. The city was on edge, its citizens living in the shadow of an unknown terror. As we delve into this macabre tale, remember that the shadows of the past can still linger in the present. Our story begins with 4 men, Manuel Moore, Larry Green, Jesse Lee Cooks, and J-Sex Simon. These were not ordinary men, but self-proclaimed death angels. Emerging from the tumultuous 1970s, these 4 men formed an alliance that would send shockwaves through the city of San Francisco. Each had their own path, their own demons, but together, they found a common purpose. They adopted a name that would come to symbolize their reign of terror: the Death Angels. Manuel Moore, a skilled mechanic with a quiet demeanor, was the group's thinker. Larry Green, a charismatic leader with a dark past, was their voice. Jesse Lee Cooks, a volatile and impulsive firebrand, was their muscle. And J-Sex Simon, a deeply religious man with a twisted interpretation of faith, was their spiritual guide. Their backgrounds varied, but they shared a common thread: a deep-seated racial hatred that had been simmering within them. It was this hatred that bound them together, fueling their unholy crusade. Driven by a warped belief system, they saw themselves as soldiers in a racial war. They were convinced that they were chosen by a higher power to bring about a new world order. To them, every murder, every act of violence, was a step towards their twisted vision of paradise. Yet their motivations were more than just ideological. There was a perverse pleasure that they derived from their heinous acts. Each killing, each act of terror fed their ego, their sense of power and dominance. They justified their actions with twisted logic and religious fanaticism. They believed they were warriors on a holy mission, striking fear into the hearts of their perceived enemies. But in reality, they were nothing more than predators, preying on the innocent and the vulnerable. Their reign of terror would not go unchallenged. The city they terrorized would rise up against them. The law enforcement they despised would hunt them down, and the people they victimized would not be silenced. They believed they were warriors on a holy mission, but in reality, they were architects of a nightmare. San Francisco, once a beacon of love and peace, found itself under siege by an unseen enemy, an enemy that did not discriminate, striking fear into the hearts of all who called this city home. The year was 1973, and the city by the bay was facing a wave of violence unlike any it had seen before. In the span of just a few short months, a series of brutal slayings sent shockwaves through the community. The victims, from all walks of life, were seemingly chosen at random, their lives cut short in the most savage of ways. The city was gripped by a terror that seemed to come out of nowhere and could strike at any time. There was the young mother of 2, going about her day, only to be gunned down in broad daylight. The well-respected shopkeeper, found lifeless in his store, a place he had considered safe. The teenage boy, full of promise, whose life was snuffed out far too soon. Each victim a stark reminder of the indiscriminate nature of this spree of violence. These were not just statistics, these were people. People with families, with dreams, with lives that were brutally taken from them. Each death, a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the senselessness of such violence. The city was on edge, the once bustling streets now eerily quiet. The vibrant pulse of San Francisco, the laughter, the music, the chatter, replaced with an unsettling silence. Residents locked their doors, peered through their windows, and hoped that they would not be next. The police were under immense pressure. The public demanded answers, solutions, justice. But with each passing day, the killers remained at large, their identities hidden, their motives unclear. The city was in the grip of fear, a fear that seeped into every home, every street, every corner of San Francisco. In the face of such random violence, the city was paralyzed with fear. With defying the shadow of terror, brave men and women of the San Francisco Police Department began their hunt for the killers. An intricate puzzle lay before them. The city was gripped by fear, and the only way out was to unravel the mystery of the Death Angels. The investigation was a colossal task. The cruel randomness of the murders and the lack of apparent motive made it difficult for the police to predict where the killers would strike next. These were not ordinary crimes. They were meticulously planned, ruthlessly executed, and shrouded in an ominous cloak of hate. The police hit roadblock after roadblock. Witnesses were few and far between, and those who dared to speak could provide only vague descriptions. The killers moved like phantoms, leaving behind little more than a chilling signature of their horrendous deeds. The pressure on the police was immense. Each new victim added to the urgency of their mission, and every dead end in the investigation was a blow to their morale. But they persevered, their determination fueled by their sworn duty to protect and serve. Yet, the investigation was not the only challenge. The murders had driven a sharp wedge through the heart of San Francisco, exacerbating racial tensions. The city was on edge, and the police found themselves walking a tightrope, trying to balance the pursuit of justice with the need to maintain peace. The killers, dubbed the Zebra Murders, had turned the city into a chessboard, and they were always 2 moves ahead. The police knew they were dealing with cold, calculating minds, and they would need to outwit them to bring them to justice. As the days turned into weeks, and weeks into months, the police tirelessly combed through every shred of evidence, followed every lead, and pursued every hunch. They were in a race against time, and they could not afford to lose. Despite the mounting pressure and the growing list of victims, the police were determined to bring the killers to justice. In every darkness, there is a glimmer of light. For the investigators, that light came in the form of a crucial lead. In the bleak winter of 1973, the detectives were tirelessly poring over any shred of evidence they could find. The city was under a cloud of fear, and the pressure to find the culprits was immense. But then a breakthrough came, one that would change the course of the investigation. A man named Anthony Harris came forward. A member of the same group as the Death Angels, he was racked with guilt and horror at the atrocities committed by his comrades. He provided the investigators with the names of the 4 men: Manuel Moore, Larry Green, Jesse Lee Cooks, and JCX Simon. He also detailed the chilling system they had devised to carry out their heinous crimes. Harris became the key witness in the case, providing the police with invaluable insights. The detectives cross-referenced his statements with the physical evidence they had collected from the various crime scenes. They found a match. The pieces of the puzzle started falling into place. The police acted swiftly. Armed with the new information, they launched a series of coordinated raids. One by one, the Death Angels were apprehended. The arrests of the 4 men sent shockwaves through the city. The reign of terror had finally come to an end. The police found further damning evidence during the arrests. They discovered a cache of weapons, including the distinctive .32 caliber pistols used in the murders. More shockingly, they uncovered a scorecard, a grotesque tally of their victims, a chilling testament to their callous disregard for human life. But perhaps the most disturbing revelation was their self-proclaimed title, the Death Angels. It was a name that symbolized their warped ideology, their belief that they were agents of death, delivering divine punishment. It was a chilling glimpse into the minds of these remorseless killers. The hunters had become the hunted. The Death Angels were finally in custody, their reign of terror brought to a halt. The city breathed a sigh of relief, but the journey was far from over. The trial was yet to come, and with it, the quest for justice. With the killers behind bars, the city breathed a sigh of relief, but the fight for justice was far from over. As the wheels of justice began to turn, the trial of the Death Angels, a name chillingly chosen by the killers themselves, was set in motion. The prosecution's case was solid, presenting a wealth of evidence that pointed to Manuel Moore, Larry Green, Jesse Lee Cooks, and JCX Simon as the culprits behind the racially motivated killings that had terrorized San Francisco. Amid the tense atmosphere of the courtroom, the four men stood defiant, their faces betraying no remorse. The trial was a grueling process. The defense attorneys argued their client's innocence, but the mountain of evidence was insurmountable. The jury deliberated for many days before finally reaching a verdict. Guilty on all counts. The courtroom erupted in a mix of relief and sorrow. Justice had been served, but the cost had been high. In the aftermath of the trial, the city began a slow process of healing. The terror that had gripped San Francisco gradually dissipated, replaced by a sense of cautious calm. Yet, the impact of the zebra murders was far-reaching. The city was left scarred, its sense of safety and security forever altered. The legacy of the case would continue to resonate. The death angels had been brought to justice, but their actions had exposed deep-seated racial tensions and highlighted the need for societal change. Conversations about race and justice became more prominent, echoing in the corridors of power and on the city streets. The zebra murders served as a stark reminder of the depths of human depravity, but also of the resilience of a city and its people. San Francisco had stared into the abyss, but it had not been consumed. Instead, it emerged stronger, more united, determined to learn from its past and build a better future. It was the end of a dark chapter in San Francisco's history, but the memory of the zebra murders would linger for years to come. As we look back on the zebra murders, we find a story of fear, hatred, and violence, but also one of resilience and justice. In the heart of San Francisco, a city known for its diverse culture and vibrant history, terror was once sown by the hands of four men. They inflicted pain and fostered fear, but they also unintentionally united a city, brought communities together, and highlighted the strength of the human spirit in the face of adversity. The zebra murders were not just a series of racially motivated killings, but a stark reminder of the destructive power of hate. Yet they also served as a testament to the resilience of communities, the dedication of law enforcement, and the unyielding pursuit of justice. The four men, Manuel Moore, Larry Green, Jesse Lee Cooks, and JCX Simon, who dubbed themselves the Death Angels, were eventually caught and convicted. Their capture wasn't just a victory for the victims and their families, but a triumph for the city and society at large. The conviction reassured the public that no matter how daunting the darkness may seem, light always finds a way to shine through. This poignant chapter in history teaches us that unity and understanding are our strongest weapons against fear. It encourages us to look past our differences, to empathize, to learn, and to grow. The lessons learned from the zebra murders remind us that we are stronger together than we are apart. We should also take a moment to acknowledge the tireless efforts of the investigators who worked on this case. Their dedication, their relentless pursuit of the truth, and their unwavering commitment to justice is a shining example of the best of humanity. So let us remember the zebra murders not just as a grim period of our history, but as a time when a city stood together, faced the darkness, and emerged stronger. It is a testament to our ability to overcome, to adapt, and to learn. While the zebra murders cast a long shadow, they also serve as a reminder of our capacity to face darkness with courage and resolve. The zebra murders, a chilling tale from San Francisco's past, continue to resonate today. A dark specter from the city's history, the narrative of the zebra murders is one of fear, prejudice, and the struggle for justice. The four men at the center of this tale, Manuel Moore, Larry Green, Jesse Lee Cooks, and JCX Simon, dubbed themselves the Death Angels. They brought a reign of terror upon the city, their actions driven by a misguided and malevolent ideology. Their capture and conviction served as a triumph of justice. The relentless pursuit of truth by the authorities despite the odds is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. Yet, the story is a stark reminder of how easily fear can be weaponized to divide communities, how it can breed suspicion and widen the chasms between us. The zebra murders also highlight the importance of vigilance and community solidarity. The breakthrough in the investigation came not from the authorities alone, but from the collective efforts of a city united against a common enemy. It's a powerful reminder that unity and cooperation are our strongest weapons against forces that seek to tear us apart. This tale serves as a grim reminder of the depths to which humanity can sink when driven by hatred and prejudice. Yet, it also underscores the heights we can achieve when we stand together against such darkness. It is a call for us to remember, to learn, and to grow. We must honor the memory of those lost by ensuring that such events are not repeated. By being vigilant, by fostering understanding and unity, we can strive to create a world where fear and prejudice have no place. The story of the zebra murders is a testament to the power of collective resilience. It is a testament to the enduring strength of a city, of a community, that refused to succumb to fear. As we bid you farewell, remember this: darkness may visit us, but it is our collective light that shall always prevail.